Generation Y are the driving force for tomorrow's economy. Born between 1976 and 1991, they're the children of the baby boomers. Michael McQueen, author and social researcher from the Next Gen group, describes Gen Y.
They have very optimistic, upbeat expectations around what they deserve, what they're going to get paid, how high they will rise, the levels of authority and influence they'll have in the workplace.
Gen Y's attitude is at least partly attributable to the financial prosperity they've seen growing up. Australia's steady bull market over the past decade or so occurred during Gen Y's formative years. However, as Penelope Joy explains, now is an appropriate time to change their behaviour.
Well, while they're young and they have an ability to actually prepare for the future, that's much better than a wake-up call when you're in your 40s or in your 50s.
Generation Y aren't known to be very astute with money. The generation is defined by the words credit and debt.
1/3 of all the credit cards applied for in Australia last year, which was 3.7 million, ended up in the hands of 18 to 27-year-olds.
Baby boomers, on the other hand, have been the busiest with their careers. Peter Richards, of Centric Wealth, says many baby boomers have been willing to provide for their Gen Y children.
This group of baby boomers is also quite prosperous, so they've had the means to actually help their children, and they've done that. And to some respects, they've probably cushioned their children from reality.
Gen Y are quite happy to rely on bank boomer or bank mum and dad to help prop up their lifestyle, especially in this economic downturn. With tags such as helicopter kids, kidults, and boomerang kids who just keep coming back to their parents for help. Gen Y is fast becoming known as kids in parents' pockets eroding retirement savings, or kippers. Many Gen Y individuals tend to focus on the short term, and their poor budgeting and planning skills mean they have difficulty achieving their goals.
Well, if you look at what made previous generations save, in many cases it was big ticket items. So if you looked at the parents of Generation Y baby boomers, when, for example, they were setting up their lives, they would save, in many cases, for a really nice dining setting. They would save for a nice bed, and they would be expensive, big ticket items that you would have to save for.
Gen Y seem comfortable with debt, holding the attitude that they'll get around to paying it off later. This is a stark contrast to previous generations who were very cautious about debt and believed in saving.
That sense of storing away money for a rainy day, delaying getting that consumer item because maybe the money will be better somewhere else, that imperative hasn't been there because times have been so good.